Hello, Mrs. Craycraft here, and we are going to do another book talk. This is one of the Abe books that I think is spectacular. And when I went looking for it, I could not find a book talk anywhere on it. So I am happy to be the first one to take this challenge. So the book that we're going to look at today is Devils Within by S.F. Henson. And this book was everything that I wanted and more, I think. So the gist of it is this is about a boy named Nate. His dad is the leader of a white supremacist group and has been grooming his son to take his place as leader. But Nate doesn't want anything to do with that life. In order to survive and escape, Nate has to kill his father, and he's been relocated with a new name to try to start a new life. But with everyone from the group wants you dead, and there's really nowhere that you can go that you are safe. Well, what about the past that you had during the time that you were with the group? The horrible things that you did to the rest of society, and they would hate you for it. Can you escape and start over, or is it just a matter of time before it all falls apart? These are so many of the things that are really looked at in this book. From the minute that I started reading it, I didn't want to put it down. This was the first book that I encountered that showed both sides of life for members of a group like this. You really come to feel for Nate and wonder if you could find a way to start over and if he's really capable of doing that. His own mom tried to get him out before she was randomly killed in an incident at a gas station. So he has no choice but to go back to his dad, who's the one, obviously the leader of this white supremacist group. But he has been out in the real world for a while, and he's kind of lived beyond his father's teachings. I think this really helped to mold the person that Nate so desperately wants to be, because he does kind of have that. He's seen the real world, and he knows that what's going on in the fort, which is what they call the place that they live, it is not the way it is everywhere in the world. I think this book has merit in classrooms of all kinds. The book has violence, yes, you can expect that from just, reading the cover, reading the back. There's language as well, and hate, but in order to learn from these, we have to be willing to explore them and the driving force behind them. So I think that this is something that is a very valuable book on many, many fronts. It's not a book that makes excuses for white supremacy. It rather explores how these groups are run and gives a realistic view to what life is like for the members. Children should not grow up in this type of environment. And one of the biggest things that you'll notice is that as soon as he gets into this new school, with his new name and he's kind of in hiding, is that he makes friends with this boy named Brandon. And he's really shocked with the fact that the first person that's nice to him is, an African American student. And they kind of build this friendship, but at the same time, Nate is afraid to tell Brandon where he came from, and he keeps telling himself that, he's going to tell him a little bit later, and of course that opportunity is forthcoming, but not in the best of circumstances. I really think that this is a book that everybody should give a try. I mean, when Goodreads asks, how many stars you give it, I would beyond give it 5 stars. I think this is one that everybody should explore and, use it as a learning experiment, if anything. So, I think that's all I've got with this one. It's one that I've already plugged to a couple kids, so go ahead and check it out. Like I said, it's an Abe nominee, and we've got copies. All right, enjoy.